Hello lovely people. Today's blog is about what I call the 4 pillars of mental health. These are resilience, motivation, boundaries and body health. Body health, diet and exercise. Why is this important for our mental health? Well, our minds and bodies are not separate. They are intrinsically linked together, and what is happening in one is going to affect what's happening in the other. Take illness. Mild or temporary illness can affect our moods, making us feel grumpy and down. Naturally, no one wants to feel ill. Equally, serious illness is directly linked to depression. Basically, if you're fighting depression, it's vitally important that you get any underlying medical conditions under control and don't let your health spiral out of control. So firstly, fitness and exercise play a very important role in mediating our hormones and our brain chemicals. Did you know that just 15 minutes of running a day can boost your mood to a whole new level, according to Harvard? Exercise works in the short term by releasing endorphins in your brain. This is the natural feel-good brain chemical. It reduces your sensations of pain and makes you feel happy. If running isn't your style, walking for an hour or dancing in your living room for half an hour are going to get you the same benefits. In the long run, regular exercise is going to reduce the chance of you developing depression alongside a host of major illnesses. In short, move regularly if you want to feel good. Secondly, nutrition and diet play a huge role in our psychological health. It's vitally important to get all the vitamins, minerals, protein and essential fatty acids you need from your diet. The scientific evidence is mounting up that change in diet and supplementation can be effective for controlling many problems, including, and this is a long list, depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, eating disorders, anxiety disorders, attention deficit disorder, hyperactivity, ADHD, and addictions. The most common nutritional problems seen in people with mental health issues are omega-3 fatty acids, B vitamins, minerals, and amino acids. These are proteins that are used to build neurotransmitters especially. We all learned the essential nutrients back in school, right? It's important to eat enough carbohydrate, protein and fat to keep the brain working well. Low-fat diets are definitely not your friend. Sugar should be reclassified as a drug because it is toxic and has no nutritional value. It's addictive, and overconsumption is directly linked to developing depression. In the long run, that old saying, you are what you eat, counts. If you eat healthily, you will be healthy in body and mind. The next pillar of mental health is resilience, how to thrive despite good times. It's defined as the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. We're all going to go through tough times in life, but how you handle them and how fast you can get back onto an even keel, this is going to make an impact on your overall mental wellness. The good thing is that the skills you need to build your resilience can be learned. Self-awareness, together with self-regulation, mental agility, strength of character, optimism, and connection with other people make up this skill set. In the first place, self-awareness is the ability to pay attention to your thoughts, feelings, behavior, and your reactions to what's happening around you. If you find yourself acting on autopilot in a stressful situation, you quite likely won't be choosing the best course of action. This leads to a worse outcome in the longer time and needed to bounce back for self-regulation. In a similar way, self-regulation, which is the ability to change your thoughts, feelings, behavior, and body reactions to achieve your desired outcome, is going to dictate whether things go well. In the third place, mental agility, or being able to look at situations from many points of view and think flexibly and creatively. This helps you problem solve in tricky situations. And in the fourth place, strength of character markedly increases your resilience. This is the ability to use your top strengths to overcome challenges and make a life for yourself that's aligned with your core values. Like this, you're less likely to wind up in situations which are going to knock you badly. Similarly to self-awareness, it's about knowing yourself realistically. In the fifth place, connection is the ability to form and maintain strong and trusting relationships with people. Having a support network is a key factor to dealing with hard times, and you can learn skills to connect better. Finally, optimism is being able to focus on what you can control, not what you can't, and simultaneously notice the positive, expect the positive, and take purposeful action. Like if I go for a job interview expecting to fail, I'm much less likely to get that job. The person interviewing me is going to pick up on my negative expectations, and consciously or not, they're going to give me what I expect from them. People who have these skills operating well in their lives can appear very lucky from the outside, but it's not random chance which is making their lives work for them. Let's get on to motivation. This is the third pillar of mental health, and it's a fact that we all experience cycles of motivation for different endeavours in our lives. We might start off super motivated on a new project or exercise regime and then find that our motivation starts to drop off as we get used to it. That's okay. You just need to keep going and try changing things up and going about it differently to bring some freshness to it. If you are feeling demotivated and overwhelmed, you could throw some gold on the floor. That means drop one thing from what you're doing and see if it refreshes your motivation. See if it refreshes your motivation. It's important to have a clear plan, make measurable goals, and celebrate and savor your achievements once you get there. Similarly, making something a practice in your life, something you keep doing maybe at a regular time or on a regular day, really helps. Waiting to feel motivated before you start to work on something is not going to help. Research shows that motivation comes from doing a thing and not from waiting for it to fall out of thin air or to feel like you're ready for it. Stay positive, give yourself positive feedback, and tell yourself positive things. Keep away from distractions, or you're not giving yourself the best chance to tackle procrastination if it shows up. Name it, be clear with yourself what your priorities are. Always try to keep it fun and visualize your success. Remember that you can be your own best motivator. Last but not least, I want to talk about boundaries. A boundary is drawing a line in the sand, either with people or substances, for example, in the outside world, or inside yourself with habits of thought. It's saying this far and no further. A boundary is a no, and being able to set strong, healthy boundaries within yourself and with others is fundamental to maintaining a healthy mental and emotional life. What does saying no feel like to you? Does it make you feel uncomfortable or strong? Does it make you feel guilty? You're not selfish for saying no. Figuring out what's good for you and what is not and sticking to your position is your right as a human being. It's really important to work out what your needs are and stand firm and true to yourself. The word codependent often pops up when we're talking about boundaries. And this applies to family dynamics, friendships and colleagues, but particularly to romantic relationships. It's used to describe someone who does not have good relationship boundaries and is generally suffering because of it. Our brains are almost wired for addiction, to seek pleasure and that dopamine hit. But if we can't keep healthy internal boundaries, we are going to wind up with a substance abuse disorder. This can be anything. You can be addicted to anything. Much of the 12-step program is about identifying and setting boundaries around substance use. In the final analysis, it's a vitally important skill that gets easier with practice. If it's something that you struggle with, then it's time to set some boundaries and identify where those lines are in the sand. Start practicing your no. Imagine doing it and feeling good about it. It can make your life better. That's it for today. I will be making more in-depth videos over these topics with skills, tips and tricks to start using them in your life. Hit the subscribe button if you want a heads up for future films, and if you'd like to leave a comment or request, you can do so below. Thanks for tuning in today. That's all from me, Fiona at EYB. Goodbye.